up, guys? I hope you're good. I hope you're Gucci. So yeah, I'm just from dropping off my son at the train station this time. So he has a train to catch in the next 10 minutes. So since I was home and it's like a walking distance, like if he was to come by foot, it would be like 10 minutes. So I just decided to drop him off because, you know, I'm home, so why not? And so at the same time on my way home, so I'm going to have like a lesson. I was like, why not chit chat a little bit with you guys? It's going to be a very short one, but yeah. So I was thinking like, you know, just telling you guys about the type of things that you need to think about before coming to France, you know. And so these are really like, let's say you're like, oh, I need to go to France. So it's from that point until the visa process, you need to really, you know what exactly you want to do and you know, and why you want to go to France. So first of all, you need to do your research, okay? You need to do your research. Why? Because I mean, if you say I want to go to France, you need to have like somewhere to start, you know. Do you want to go to France because you just want to go to France? Because it could be a case you just want to explore. Do you want to go to France for your studies? Do you want to come to France, I don't know, you know, to work? Do you want to, you know, you just need to know your why. Why do you want to go to, you know, to France or to Europe or to the States? First of all, you need to know why. Then second of all, once you know why, then you can start doing your research about the country that you want to go to. And so when I say do research, is like do like a market research, you know. If you want to come and work, just see what exactly they ask for, because the thing is, most of the time, if you come when you're not prepared, then it can be a big shock. It can be a big shock because if you're coming and you're thinking, oh, my credentials will be fine, my diplomas, your certificates, it will be like a big shock, because it's not the case. Because you need to start all over again, and this is not a joke. Like seriously, I went through it. I know what I'm talking about. So it's not a joke. So your credentials are not valid, so you have to go back to school. Do you have that time? If you're going to a country where you need to learn the language, then it's important. It's very important to you know, to start learning that language, because first of all, when you do your research and you think that you're courageous enough, you know, to leave your country, to go to another country, because you will have some culture shock. So if you haven't watched the video I made about the culture shock, then please make sure you watch it, you know, about the culture shock and stuff like that. Then that will be like, you must be sure, you must be very sure of what exactly that you want to do. And so after that, of course, you know, you do your research. You need to, if you want to call schools, call them. If you want to call the French embassy in your country or the German embassy in your country, call them. Then yeah, just do it, because you need to prevent as many problems as possible when you come, you know, when you go abroad. So yeah, so that's very important. So just do your research, and then yeah, everything else will just, you know, it just gives you a taste of what to expect. It gives you an idea of what to expect. Then you get to, there are groups, you know, there are groups of expats and stuff like that in whatever country. To contact Kenyans in that country, ask them questions. You can find all these groups on Facebook, but I really highly recommend that, you know, that you try and find that information, you know, from other people on Facebook and stuff like that. It's very important. And then yeah, so let me get home. I just got home, and then I will continue from there. Okay, see you in a bit. So before we go home, this it's frozen. The grass, I don't know if you can see, it's frozen. Look at the tree. Oh my goodness, I don't know if you can see that. It's frozen, you know. That's crazy. And you can also see on the fence. Look at the fence. You know, you can see, you can see the snow falling. That's crazy. So hello guys, I'm back. I just got home. So yeah, so I hope you're ready to, you know, just to continue from where we're going. So from where we were, sorry. So yeah, so I hope that you enjoyed the first part, but I also want to say, you know, about the trees. The crazy part is like in winter they're frozen, like all the leaves fall off in autumn, and then in some, so from spring, so that's around April, you know, the leaves start, you know, sprouting again. I'll be so happy to show you guys that. And then yeah, in summer it's all green, as in everything is green. So that's a crazy part. I'm telling you, nature is something crazy. So yeah, so from what I was saying, so yeah, so we talked about know your why you want to travel to Europe, to United States, to France if you want to come to France. The second thing, start doing some research. It's very important to do your research, because sometimes you might think that, you know, you might have an idea, but then after doing research, you change your plans and you try and do something else, you know. If you want to, because there's so many opportunities, like you have Erasmus, so that's when if you're at university and you want to do an exchange program, you can use Erasmus. So you need to find, you know, information about that, what is required and stuff like that. If you want to come as an au pair, then you need to know what families are looking for. You try and, you know, and then you start learning your French, and, you know, you need to know if you take care of children, if you love children. You know, if you want to just go to university, then you need to look for, you know, like student accommodation, the cost of living, you know, which university you want to go to, because France is big. For example, I know Germany is big, and there's so many different, you know, student cities all around France. So let me just talk about France, because that's what I know. So let's say, for instance, you want to do engineering. There's specific universities or colleges that offer that course. If you want to become a teacher, if you want to do business, if you want to do commerce, if you want to do marketing, if you want to be a doctor, a nurse, there's so many options, but you need to know the best schools. You need to know which town. Then you need to find out about, you know, the cost of living in that town, the accommodation and stuff like that. So just don't jump into the flight and I want to go and let me go. Don't do that, because you will have a big shock. And sometimes it's really difficult for so many people. And like I said in another video, just also come prepared, in the sense that you know that you have to do so many odd jobs to survive. And not because you're a foreigner, of course it plays a role, but also because you know, you need to pay your bills. You know, you need to pay accommodation, you need to pay university, which is not like the most expensive. I would say, I remember I used to pay 300 euros per trimester. So it's not too much. And, you know, universities in France, especially, they can help you if you're struggling as a student. They can finance you, they can help you pay, you know, part of your expenses and stuff like that, if it's university and stuff like that. So you need to know, you know, renting is expensive. Do you want to go into house sharing? Do you have the means, and then you probably want your small place, you know, like a bed sitter, you know. So you need to find out exactly how you want to come. I think that the easiest option is when you come as an au pair, because you're hosted, you eat with a family, you know, you have everything. You just have to take care of your school. But as an au pair, you can't do like it's just for you to improve your French, because you have to go to a French school, because you can't like go for crazy studies where you don't have time to, you know, to look after the kids. So it has to be like you need to start somewhere, and that is the language. And so that is the third thing that you need to know, is the language. So you've decided you're going to the United States, to Canada. There's no language problems, unless if you go to the French speaking part of Canada, like Quebec, you know. But then if you decide to go to France, to Germany, to Sweden, to Norway, to, I don't know, to Turkey, you need to know more about the language there. You need to start learning, because let me tell you, you cannot make it if your French is not good, if your German is not good. You will have a rough time looking for a job, because even when you're looking for a student job as a nanny, I don't know, if you want to work at McDonald's, if you want to do, unless you're doing cleaning and where you don't need to speak, but at the same time it's very important to be able to communicate, with the customers, so you need to start learning your language. So the best school I know for French is Alliance Française. I don't know how much it is right now. Back in the days, it wasn't expensive at all. It was like $30 the whole for one module. And then for the German, I think it's Goethe. I know how we say it, Goethe. I don't know. It's just opposite Alliance Française. And so, if you're going to Italy, look for an Italian school. If you Spain, the same thing. Yeah, but just start learning the language. And I'm not asking you to be fluent. You will not be fluent in a place where you actually, like, you go to class, you learn a few grammar things, and then you go home and you're no, it doesn't work like that. Of course, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is just start learning basic words. Just learn the beginner level if you can. In the meantime, while you're still applying for your visa, just start now. Okay, so once you've done your research and you're sure, oh, I want to go to France, okay, then I need to start learning French, because at the embassy, that's the thing, they will speak to you in French. They will ask you a few questions in French. They don't expect you to be like perfectly, fluent. No, they just want to know, do you know how to introduce yourself? Do you know how to say where you live? I remember they used to ask me, what's your name? Where do you live? What's the name of the family? And all those just basic things, but in French. So you really need to be confident enough to be able to just say a few phrases. And then if you don't understand, then don't stress about it. Just say, I'm sorry, but could you repeat, please? Or I'm sorry, I don't understand. But, just explain that you're learning, and that's why you also want to go to France, because you want to improve your French and stuff like that, or German, or whatever the case may be. So don't be too overstressed about it, because it's an easy process as long as you know what you're doing. You go to the embassy. If you're going, let's say, to a college, or to a family as an au pair, you already have the documents from the family, what do you call them? It's a document that attests that you're staying at their house. You already know. If you're going to a school, let's say you want to come to the university, you already have your university papers, you were accepted. You already have your bank statement, because they always ask for a bank statement. And if it's not that, it's okay. You can tell them, your parents, if your parents don't have that kind of money, then you can ask a friend, to give you the bank statement and stuff like that. So there are solutions. Once you know what you want, you can always start looking for solutions, and your mind will help you towards that, So yeah, so then the last step would be the visa process. And then once you come to the country, please, please, just know that you will not have a blue collar job like that. You have to put your pride aside, a little bit aside, okay? Because you're going to do all types of odd jobs. Back home, we all have we have nannies at home. It's easy to have a house girl, a maid, however you call it. It's very easy to have them. They're not too expensive. Everybody affords them, even a middle class home. Here in France, it's a whole different level. It's you, yourself, and you. Okay, I don't know if that exists. It's just you, yourself, and you. So it's a very difficult situation if you're not prepared for it. So you need to be mentally prepared to know that you're not going to start to find your job immediately, because first of all, when you arrive here, you have to perfect your French. If you go to university, they ask you to go for a test. So when you arrive, upon arrival, you need to know that there is a specific test that you have to, that you have a French test that just reassures the university. It's just a formality, just saying that you have a good French level, because you need to have, I think it's B1 to join a French university. And then if you don't have that B1, then unfortunately you have to redo the test before you join university. So there are all these steps that you really need to know in hand. And then you need to know where you're going, the accommodation, all those things. You need to know that you need to start working immediately. You need to start if possible saving immediately, but you need to just know that it will take you minimum, I would say, minimum 5 years to settle down. And those 5 years are where you're learning the language. You need to go back and continue with your studies and probably renew your diplomas or start a new career and stuff like that. So just before you totally start being stable, it will take you minimum 5 years. So that's a long time. So you need to be very, very careful about, how you want to go about it. So I hope that you have some keys and that you can do some research on your end about the type of, let's say, the type of documents they ask at the embassy. That's very important to know. Of course, you need your passport has to be ready. You need to start working for your passport, all the documents that they require at the embassy, and extra documents. Don't go just because sometimes you go to the embassy and it's like, oh yeah, but I need this and that. Just think about all types of documents that they can ask you and give once you've given all the documents they ask for on the website, then you can just add some extra ones. I always do that. Even when my mom is coming to visit, I always give her so many documents and she's never got a no to come. So please guys, I hope it helps. I hope you're prepared in a way that I helped you become more prepared. But I believe in you. I know you can do it and you will do it. Okay. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's going to be helpful. Please share it with somebody who is probably thinking about traveling abroad. Just let them know that this is the video they need to watch, and share, because most of you are watching but you're not subscribed. So please support me and subscribe, and I'll be so happy and grateful for that. So remember, just like every time, make sure you do those things that set your soul on fire, your heart on fire, because you're worth it and you're capable of doing it. So until next time, it's your girl Connie, and thank you so much. Bye.